Whew, it got heated in the tiny house. Thought I'd come out here in the woods and make this video. We're getting ready to get into fall, and I haven't been out here very much this summer. I've been busy working on the solar panels, which is where I need to start this video, is with the solar panels. As you know, I've been working on those solar panels and making them more efficient, or at least maximizing the amount of electricity I'm getting out of them into the batteries. Had to get a new charge controller. So that gives me 2 charge controllers. One charge controller was only putting 25 amps into the battery when I had 50 amps of solar panels. So I got a second charge controller. Now each charge controller gives me 25 amps each. Before I get too far into this, when you come out in the woods, you gotta have bug spray. Mosquitoes and ticks are terribly bad, so you want to make sure you have bug spray coming out here, and a good pair of boots. I have steel-toed waterproof boots. You gotta have those to live off grid. You're always dumping water on your feet. But I digress a little bit. As a result of being able to improve the solar panel system, we've been able to pretty much eliminate the use of the generator. As a matter of fact, I have stored the bigger generator. I'm not using it anymore. I almost pulled it out the other day. Well, I did pull it out, but I didn't actually get it hooked up and started. Our drain that comes from the house clogged up. So I disconnected the drain, and I was gonna run a hose down the drain and flush it out, kind of like a snake with the water pressure behind it. But I had to hook up the well. Well, it was getting late. It was like 6 o'clock when this happened, so I wouldn't have been able to run the well off the solar panels to do that, so I would have had to start the generator. Well, Carolyn just snaked that thing down there anyways without the water. I don't think she realized what I was doing, and she was able to knock that clog out, so I didn't have to start it. But again, digress a little bit. What this means is we're saving a ton of money in generator costs with gasoline and propane. The only generator I run is the little one, and it just sips gas. It's a 1500 watt generator. Here's the thing that I've noticed since I made the solar panels more efficient, is usually it's not cloudy all day. If I can get 4 hours at least partial sun, where I can get the charge controllers up above 12 amps each, so that's 24 amps, 25 amps, somewhere around there total, then I can get the batteries charged for the night so we can run that freezer through the night on batteries. In the past, I used to run the generator in the morning, so if I knew it was going to be cloudy, I'd start it up in the morning, run it for 4 hours, shut it off, and then I might have to start it again in the evening. But now I've got it more efficient. I've noticed that's not really the case. So the other day I got up and the batteries were at 12.3, which was at the low end, and I knew it was going to be cloudy, so I ran it for an hour just to get me up until 9 o'clock. Well, it was still cloudy by 11 o'clock, and the batteries got back down to 12.2, which was a little low. So I started back up, and I didn't even fill it up. It was, I don't know, just a little bit of gas in it. I was just gonna run it long enough, and it ran out of gas, I don't know, half hour. Well, by 1 o'clock, the sun was popped back up, partly cloudy, and the batteries are charged, so I didn't even run the thing for 2 hours. Now the thing runs on about 11 hours on a gallon of gas. Gas costs went way down. Been a huge benefit. The struggle with this is I don't want to inconvenience Carolyn. I want her to be able to do whatever she wants. Well, since I have to do all this work around the sunlight, I have to make sure that her sinks are full to do laundry all the time. So when she gets done with laundry, I dump out the dirty water, I fill the tubs back up on a day that it is sunny. Well, the other day, she needed more water for her laundry, and it was cloudy. So I decided that I was just going to take it out of the IBC tank. So I grabbed 5 gallons of water out of the IBC tank and I dumped it in there, and then I could fill the IBC tank the next time it was sunny. So I'm having to kind of pay attention to the weather for laundry, whereas before I just start the generator and it was no big deal. Now, one big benefit we've got is I worked on the well some this year too, and I made a trench that diverted some of the rainwater away from the well. So we've had these huge storms that normally would have made the well dirty, but it hasn't been dirty all year since I've done that. So that means even when it's raining, I can get water out of the well. You used to not be able to do that. Today, she's doing laundry, but she wants to do more laundry tomorrow. Well, tomorrow it's gonna be rainy. Well, tonight it's supposed to rain. It's gonna be cloudy all day tomorrow. I won't be able to help her with water. So what I've been doing today is I've been filling buckets. Just everything I can find to fill, I've been filling. She only needs about, I don't know, 20 or 30 gallons of water. So it's not a lot. I just got to get it done today. So you have to plan ahead to make this life convenient for those that, look, I guess here's the way to put it. I made a video a while back about Carolyn's chores, my chores. She wants to have chores. She wants to be able to do laundry. She wants to cook. So I have my chores: fill the water, take care of the chickens, maintain the electric. I like to be able to eat, let's say at 3 o'clock every day and 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I want to eat. If Carolyn said, nah, I'm busy, I want to do it at 5, I wouldn't be grumpy. But think about it from your perspective. You're like, where's my food? How come I can't do it? So you're inconvenienced. And it might cause an argument eventually if it happens enough. So the same thing for me. When she wants to be able to do laundry, she needs to be able to do laundry. She doesn't want to have to be frustrated. Maybe today was the day she had planned it out. Maybe tomorrow she's got something else planned. So she needs to be able to do it when she has it planned. So I need to make sure she has that water available. Now, of course, I could run the generator, but I'm trying so hard not to. I mean, Carolyn even says that regularly. Well, if you just run out of water, just run the generator. I would rather not. That's just my personal preference. Now that I've got it where I don't have to. So I need to be able to plan ahead and make sure that she's always got the water when she needs it. Now, we've been talking a lot about the heat here recently. Just watched a video this morning, actually, and I was surprised. The prepper actually said, I was just absolutely blown away by this, that you don't need air conditioning. Whoa! It's the first time I've ever heard a prepper say that. Usually they're trying to figure out how to sell you an air conditioner and a generator and, you know, whatever else. So that was pretty incredible. But I've said that Carolyn and I don't use the air conditioner. Now, Carolyn struggles with the heat a lot more than I do. I hate the cold. That being said, also, I've gotten a lot better with the cold. It's just not bothering me anymore. So I guess you adapt to the conditions. And I think people really struggle with that idea. People have gotten so spoiled or so accustomed or so, spoiled is the right word, I think, that they don't seem to think they can live without these devices. Well, I don't want to live without heat. I want to be able to stay warm in my house. I hear people say all the time, oh, just buy an electric blanket. When we were nomads, people would say that all the time. No, I'm not blind. I mean, okay, so you're warm at night when you sleep, but what about during the day? The other thing about cold is everything you have will freeze. Your water, your canned goods, whatever you have. We wouldn't be able to store canned chicken, the stuff that we canned. Couldn't store any of that. So have to think about all that. The other thing is the reason people die from heat is from not being hydrated. As long as you're sweating and as long as you have enough water, you'll be fine in the heat. I know people just cannot believe that. You stay in the shade, you drink water, you'll be fine. Healthy diet, you'll be fine. But in the cold, you can die no matter what you do. You'll freeze to death. So you got to stay warm. I hear people say, you can put on more clothes than you take off. Well, you don't have to take clothes off. Actually, if your shirt is wet from sweat, you'll stay cooler. People don't want to sweat. That's the thing. As soon as somebody sweats, they're hot. Oh, this is miserable. I'm sitting here sweating right now. It's just part of the body's cooling system. My shirt's wet. That's good. I'll stay cool this way. I'll go in and drink some water. Now, I know somebody's going to say, you know, some troll, you just said how hard it is to get water. Well, I can make 3 gallons. So we don't have an air conditioner. Now we have one, and I've showed it to you. We put it in the camper when Carolyn's son was here. We can run it off the solar panels. We just don't. And I think we could actually do better than most people in this SHTF. I just told you about the preppers saying you don't need air conditioning. Well, the video was made, this guy's video was made because people were saying, what should we do for air conditioning when the electric goes down? There's this, you know, thinking that the electric grid's going to go down. Just do without. And I can understand it. People just cannot fathom the idea of not having air conditioning. I remember one time I was at work and a co-worker lost her air conditioning. It broke, something went wrong with it. It was going to cost her $1,200 to get it fixed. They didn't have the money. And she left work to go figure out what they were going to do to get the air conditioner fixed. So they didn't have the money to fix it, but she could not stand the thought of not having it. So they went out to figure out how they were going to get it fixed, you know, get loans or whatever. I don't remember what all she did, but they were trying to figure out how to borrow money to get the thing fixed. All the while she should have just stayed at work so she could get the money. People are just spoiled to it. Carolyn and I could go in the truck and cool off, or go into the camper and cool off if we needed to. We just haven't had to. And the temperature's gotten pretty warm a few times this year. We just drink more water. Now, I know there's going to be people in the comment section that will say, oh, I can live without air conditioning. And that's great. I know that there are people that can do it. But here's the ones that I struggle with. When I was growing up, we didn't have air conditioning. Okay, I didn't either. But now I'm grown, I don't have air conditioning. A lot of people make the excuse that, oh, I could do it when I was young, so I can do it now. I would imagine you can't. I hear a lot of people complaining about cost. Electric costs so high, gasoline costs so high, everything's so high. But they don't do anything to reduce the cost. Just do without air conditioning. Oh, I deserve air conditioning. Not if you can't afford it. I heard that one time from somebody before. Didn't have a job. And I was telling this family that, well, you need to shut off that air conditioner. Oh, I deserve air conditioning. How in the world do you deserve air conditioning? You don't even have a job. You don't deserve anything. You know, you got to figure out how to eat. And so these preppers, the commenters in the prepper channels, they want to know how to run an air conditioner. You need to be more concerned about how you're going to run your freezer. How are you going to can the food? Air conditioning is not that important. Here's what Carolyn and I do. We just turn on a fan. Carolyn actually sleeps at the foot of the bed during the summer, so her face can be right in the fan because we put the fan in the window. And it's not one of these big box fans or anything. Just put a fan on and you'll cool off. I stay cool all day in front of that fan. Come out in the woods instead of out in the sunlight to make my videos. I think people just are spoiled. When we were nomads, we went to the desert in August in Utah and Arizona. Well, more so at Utah. We were in Utah in August. I think it was Hurricane Utah. Oh, it was hot. Every day we get up into the hundreds. It was really hot. But we never had air conditioning. It can be done. We didn't die. We didn't get sick. It was not comfortable. But why does everything in life have to be comfortable? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we live in a country where we've been spoiled to death. And then we get mad because the rich people have it easier than the rest of us. Well, I can tell you here in America, everybody is rich. Everybody. Everybody has a TV, everybody has a car, not most everybody. When you go to being poor, you don't have those things anymore. When you're poor, you want to figure out how to eat. not figure out how to run your air conditioner. Air conditioner is the last thing on your mind. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Each day, turn your air conditioner up 1 or 2 degrees every day. So let's say it's 78 degrees today in your house. I'm sure it's colder than that. Most people keep it like 72. Let's say you got it at 78. Tomorrow put it at 79. Next day at 80. And you keep going up until it doesn't turn on anymore. And you just drink water. Get on a good diet. Eat meat. It can be done. I'm not Superman. I hear that all the time, that somehow I have special abilities. I'm just like everybody else. So if you'll click this up next box, take you to a video where I was talking about when we were nomads. So if I can inspire you to let it get hot in your tiny house when you're living your dreams. Thanks for watching.